of frogs in it, and it's definitely a place where a lot of wildlife from this area comes through. There's a big traffic area, and there's a skidder trail behind us, which Teresa has let us know is a pretty common area for these wildlife animals to walk through. And we were looking for moose tracks, so we knew there were a lot of moose tracks here. We wanted to come back and cast some of those. And when we came back, we discovered that there was a lynx, evidently, that had come through here either last night or this morning, sometime since we were here yesterday. And they're very good quality prints, deep impressions in the mud here. So we're doing some casting, and we're going to pull those prints off with us and take them home, and they're going to be able to do some molds of them so we can get some copies to Mike and Bill with Team Tazer. So it's a pretty remarkable event that we kind of stumbled upon here today.
So this is an exciting event. Bill, is this an exciting event?
Absolutely. You don't see these prints very often, and they're really perfect prints too. I mean, like Mike said, they're like museum quality. I mean, these prints are going to come out really nice.
And based on how soft they still are, and based on how hot it is and that the prints are right in the mud, what are the chances that these prints were made really recently?
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind they were made within the last 12 hours. I mean, I'm positive of that. You know, we've had rain within the last 24, so, you know, these are definitely made within the last 24 hours, positively, no doubt, because we've had rain since then. So, you know, it's fairly reasonable.
Yeah, more tracks right there. I mean, we've got a series of woo, awesome tracks. Really awesome. Lynx are, you know, I mean, we see them up here, but overall in the state of Maine, seeing a lynx is a really pretty extraordinary thing. They're quite rare. They're protected. But once again, we're finding something this rare. See, I always figure if you get in an ecosystem where you're getting a lot of different critters, I mean, if you got a cryptid, that's the most likely place to find it.
All right, let's do this. What is?
That's awesome, guys! Come on! Woo! Yeah.
Hey,
lynx tracks? Are you kidding me? Yeah, if you're finding lynx tracks, this, I mean, one of these days you'll run across something else. But these type of wetlands, we're just really,
hold on.
We're really lucky that the critter
Let me take
walks
one
so
with
close to the water's edge.
flash.
They're just, they're extraordinarily beautiful, really elegant, royal kind of look to their face, and they have these huge, like this looks like, well, I initially thought it was a bear because the traps are so large, but
paws.
Right, because primarily they feed upon snowshoe hares, and it facilitates the ability for them to, you know, have that advantage in deep snow. So that.
Can you get a picture of those tracks with the measurement for the stride?
Really good. Yeah, we're doing overall. Let's see where we can start. Where the hell is that track start?
Right there.
Here. There's two right there.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's measure. Yeah, we'll do the measure of the length and the width of the track so that you can. So that's like a little bit more than 3 inches long. Yep. By what? Almost 4 inches wide.
Okay.
And then the stride from that track, from toe, you can do both toe to heel, and is 13, and then toe to toe is 16 inches.
Got it.
And you can kind of, if you really, I'm not really that familiar with lynx, but you know, you can imagine when an animal's walking, you can estimate kind of the shoulder height by imagining an imaginary triangle going to the shoulder. So I mean, you know, you're talking, and it might be longer than that because lynx have really long legs.
That's another one.
Yeah, they do. They have
a series of
small bodies and big long legs.
Okay, so what John and Bill are doing here, they're mixing up the plaster Paris we're going to use to cast these lynx tracks. And it's a, what's the mix that you normally use?
It's a 2-to-1 mix is what it is. 2 parts water, 1 part, no, 2 parts this and 1 part water.
Right. And they're going exact with this. I mean, plaster is very forgiving, and frequently in the field, I'll just guesstimate. And once you do a couple castings, you ought to be able to guesstimate. And if you're in a rush, I would suggest mixing it a little thick. It'll still pick up. Like, you know, put more plaster, a little bit more plaster in. Kind of make it like thin cake batter.
Okay.
You want it so it will pour into the print, but even if it's fairly thick, it'll pick up. Like, one of the keys to authenticating Sasquatch footprints, or one of the possibilities of authenticating them, are a thing called dermal ridges, which are just the swirls, like your fingerprints, you know, the FBI agents would use. And on the bottom of our feet, we also have these swirls. And so there's been some Sasquatch footprints that Dr. Jeff Melbrum has that show these dermal ridges, which is really exciting because, I mean, it's possible, I suppose, to fake that, but you put a lot of effort and work into faking a dermal ridge.
Yeah. And then for nothing.
Right. Yeah, I've done a number of experiments, and you can mix really thick plaster and still pick up those dermal ridges. And if you can see it in the track, you should be able to get that data in what amounts to a 3D hard version.
Right.
You know, it's incredibly valuable data to collect, and as you can see, it's really easy to do.
Well, we're almost done now.
How long does it usually take?
Well, the way I mix it, it's by the time I start on that first track, by the time I get done to the end one, the first one will be hard.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
And it still gets good.
Oh, it'll get rock hard.
and-
Yeah.
But I mean, you know all the details.
Yeah. Yeah, as long as you make it thin enough that it will pour.
This right here is about the consistency you want. Maybe even a little bit thicker. I like it like this. He likes
Yeah,
it
no,
thicker
I mean
than
that's
this.
that's probably the recommended, but I go.
I like it
yeah,
like this.
okay.
But that'll work. You pour that in there, and you'll get a
So-
nice moose track.
I've done this before. I think you should do it, guy.
All right.
Just you want to use the bottoms to the sky technique. You lift the back of the bag. There you go.
Yeah, that's actually a really good thickness, Bill. Look, this is already. I dump it in pretty quick. She's starting to kind of harden out.
Starting to harden. We're gonna have to bust that one out of there, aren't we?
What do you mean?
We're gonna have to pull it out.
Put a couple sticks in it.
We can dig around it.
Yeah, dig
That's what I
around
mean,
it and
we
wash
bust
the
it
mud
out,
off.
Yeah. But that's a nice thick mix, and it's good and thick, so that should hold together really well. It should get a nice impression of it.
Yeah.
What do you do? Hold on, everybody. What are you casting right now?
We have some really beautiful lynx tracks, and Bill has mixed up some plaster for us.
Is it mixed okay?
And he's got the perfect
Cool.
consistency. And we're going to get both the front and the rear track for you guys in one casting. I think I got enough. Partial one here.
You make a mold. You know what I mean? Like you make. Yeah.
So we're gonna duplicate off of this one, right? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, because you can only cast it once.
Right. But you can.
Disperse it when you bring it out.
Yeah. But you can definitely
Alright, we're going to need
recast them.
Need another one?
plaster.
You want just as much last time, or you want
I
less?
just want or double that amount.
We came down here last night actually and saw a lot of these moose prints, and that's all we could see were these deep moose prints like this one we've casted over here.
Oh, okay.
And so we know that these tracks were not here last night because we had Mike with us, and we were looking pretty heavily through here because we were looking specifically for bear.
Right.
Because we were looking for a place to cast a bear print. So we know that all we saw here were moose prints
Or right up till dusk.
right up until dusk because we came out of here and we came back in with you guys. So we know that these were at least new since last night.
Yeah, that's really exciting. You know, like Mike said, if we're finding things like this, we're in the right place where animals that are secluded that really don't show themselves very often are obviously here.
Right.
So it's going to be probably a good spot to find Bigfoot if he's out here. So it's pretty awesome. It's good things.
Cool.
So you guys, what time were you here?
Well, it was like 7.
We went back when you went back.
Yeah.
And we came back. Then we drove out. We met you.
Yeah.
We came back in. And
So it could have happened between when we were out here then too.
we could
But
have-
the scat wasn't there because we didn't see that. Do you think that's about the same age, freshness?
Probably. Probably.
We could wait, and because we're going back with the trail camera,
Yeah.
we could let these set up hard. We could go back. We could go down here. No one's going to come through.
Right.
That's the best idea, I think.
Yeah,
We can
let's
go
do that
down. We
one
can
of-
recon the wet area, go back and have our lunch, get our trail camera,
Right.
come back here. We'll retrieve these tracks.